an honor.
Oh my God, have mercy. Ah.
It's always an honor, brother.
Now tell me, what is the secret behind the sweet melodies and rhythms?
That I won't be able to tell you, no, brother.
You can tell me.
It just
You
me.
don't want to share the secret with us?
It's just me being myself, Aya.
Wow.
It's really me being myself, and that's how, like Bob said, that's how you boss out of me, you know. So that's how the rhythm comes.
That's how the rhythm come. Yeah. How you mean? Oh my God, have mercy. Now, Kwame, let me take you, through something interesting. Mm-hmm. Where were you born?
I was born Swedru.
Wow.
Yeah, I was born in Swedru. 1959. That's a long time ago.
59. Yeah. 2 years after independence.
Yes. Yeah.
I see. Mm-hmm. And who are your parents? What did they do for a living?
My father is my father was a police. He's an Ewe. His name is Badohu. My mother is an Ashanti. Mm-hmm. Her name is Donko. I'm not Donko. Ejewa.
Wow.
But I was raised Ashanti, so most of my Ewe side, mm-hmm. I don't really know too much.
You don't know too much?
Yeah, but I've kind of reconnected with my brothers, and you know, we're all right. Yeah.
Interesting. So, when did you decide that music was your thing and you needed to do it?
I did not decide it. A lot of people will tell you that the thing chooses you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, after high school, well in high school, uh-huh. I was kind of dabbling in this, you know, pop chain, people playing guitar, and you hang around with them, you know, uh-huh. things like that. But I did not really have the courage.
Okay.
My brother was the one who was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, you know, watching him. But after high school, there wasn't much to do. I found myself writing poetry or stuff like that. So when I went to the States, I continued with the poetry stuff. Mm-hmm. And then down the line, I picked up a guitar. Mm-hmm. And basically, I started strumming, and the melodies I was hearing, I was putting words to them. And
wow.
One thing led to the next, you know. But I studied, because in the early stages, you know, you are raw, you don't know much, but I studied songwriting while I was there. You know, people who write the way they write, how to say a lot with very little, you know, that mm-hmm. All kind of those things. So I studied, and then...
Did you go to school in Ghana?
Yeah.
Which schools?
I went to St. Augustine's.
Wow.
In Cape Coast.
Wow.
That was a high school.
Yeah. How about the primary school?
Primary school, I was all over. The last primary school I went to was Weja. Well, we went to Weja because my stepfather was in the army. My mother married to an army officer called Major Osafo. Mm. And he became like my father from there, because right. my real father was not there. But we were in Weja Barracks. From Weja Barracks, we went to my own barracks in Takoradi. And then from Takoradi, I went to high school. Yeah, so my own barracks was the last place that, the last...
Interesting. Yeah. Now, your real father wasn't there. Where was he?
He made the babies and, you know, moved on.
He made babies and moved on. Okay.
Moved on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But did you have a relationship with him?
Later on, when I went to the States, but while I was young, there was very little relationship. When we were kids, of course, we were around him. But then after him and my mother separated, I was about maybe 8 years or
wow.
so. There wasn't much of a relationship, and then it continued until I went to the States. And then when I had my first baby, my son, something was telling me to reconnect with him. So wow. I asked my mother if he can find where he's at, and she knew where he was, and she connected me with him.
Wow, interesting. How many were you in the family from your father and mother?
Right now they say we are my mother,
father and mother.
My father and mother was three of us.
Three of you.
Yeah.
Walk me through how you got into the United States.
Well, after high school, during the high school, there was a period where there was this uptown thing going on. There was a buzz of people that we just wanted to get out because we figured the opportunity was very limited out here, you know, and we were just like, that's where it's at, you know, it's over there. We got to go, you know, go for it. And then in high school, too, there was a few of our friends who had parents who kind of like took them abroad. And then when they come, the stories they be telling us. And so my mind was filled with all of this wanting to go outside thing, you know. So that's how it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get out? You got onto a ship?
Oh, no. We took a plane. He took a plane and then we flew out there. Yeah.
How did the visa come by? How did you come by the visa? Or you didn't need visas in the days?
Yeah, we needed visa. We had to do the connection thing.
Connection thing. Okay. So he did the connection thing and he found himself in America.
Yeah.
What was it like in America? Was it the America that you expected?
No, sir. It was a culture shock.
Wow.
I tell you, man, me knew me who cried.
What?
I mean, because I was young and naive, to be honest with you. There were a few people who were trying to tell me that, hey, dude, slow your roll. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. But I was like, uptown, Yankee, you know, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we got there, and lo and behold, one good thing was my brother was already there. So he kind of held my hand, you know, in the initial stages. But he was also struggling because he had been there barely 2 years.
Wow.
And he had not even found his footing. And there I was with him. So both of us, we were just struggling.
Wow.
Banging heads on the walls and whatnot. You know, and then it got to a point where you can't return. I even made my mind to return.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I made up my mind. At one point, it got so bad, I wanted to get home. I told my mother I wanted to come home, and then there was all the cool thing going on.
Yeah.
One day, Ochampa was off, Okufu came, blah, blah, blah. And it was like the country was in sort of a turmoil, you know. And the friends that I had, they weren't giving me good news about coming home. So that was like, okay, where are you coming home to? What are you coming home to do? You know.
Wow.
So you stick it out. And then I got lucky. Met a lady, you know.
Okay.
She helped me out get my papers straight.
Oh, wow. Through a marriage, I believe.
Yeah, through
Was it a white woman?
No, it's an African born there.
Oh.
When I say African, you know what I mean. Right?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Interesting.
She wouldn't appreciate if I was to call her an American.
Wow.
Yeah, she would say she's an African born in America.
Are you still together?
Yeah.
Interesting. For how many years now?
Over 30 years. My son is 30-something, so...
Interesting.
We've been together over 30 years. I have a daughter, an older daughter, and then a younger daughter, so we have
this is interesting.
Yeah.
So how, apart from the fact that you met a woman who supported you to be able to get your papers and all that, how did you survive in America? What work were you doing?
It's tough. It's like previously I tried to go to school because, you know, from August school, your mind is like, yeah, you know, school thing. And you got out there, you realize if you're not a citizen, it's not easy going to school. So you got to pay your fees, you got to pay your bills, you know, all the other things, and it just was not happening. So I found myself trying this and that, you know, broadcasting, this school, that school, and none of that panned out. But all the while, I was still writing my lyrics, what I call poetry, and making noise with them, what I thought was music. One of the songs we did was Bad Signs.
Bad Sign was the first song you wrote?
Bad Signs, yeah, what I can remember. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Bad Signs. And then that doesn't help, so you can't continue with the school as far as trying to balance all of that. So you turn to do menial jobs. For me, what allowed me to do music was delivery jobs.
Interesting.
You know, if you're driving, you basically your own boss.
Yes, you are.
Have your own hours.
For real.
Just like you do over here. So I had a chance to, if I have a gig, I could just go to the gig and come back when I'm tired. I don't want to drive. I wouldn't drive. And that is what sustained me.
Did you teach yourself how to play the guitar?
Yes.
Or somebody taught you?
Yes, it's empirical. It's
wow.
I first, because mine was late. You know, I got there. I was in the States. I was about 19, 20. I turned 21 in the States. And then a year after that, I was in Los Angeles. That's when I picked up the guitar.
Wow.
And then I bought I didn't even know at that time, I didn't even know you could go to the pawn store and get you a guitar. There was a guy going to dump it. You know, he was doing a spring cleaning.
Right.
And there was a warped guitar he was going to throw it away. I told him, give it to me, give it to me.
Oh, wow.
So he gave it to me. I went out there. I went to the guitar store to restring it, and the guy told me, but you could even get a better guitar than this.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know. I told him, yeah, just give it to me. Do it for me. So he gave it to me. I bought a guitar book and the basic. And I started, you know, doing the fingering thing and doing the practicing and whatnot. And then meeting other musicians, learning from them, you know, stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, the first song that you said you wrote was called what?
Bad Science.
Bad Science. Can you play me a bit of it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Praise him every day. Sing it anyway. We love Jaja. We know Jaga. Something like that. Can be ready day. They're spreading bad science. They're spreading bad science. Babylon spreading bad science. You know, see, them days we were young, so.
For real.
Yeah, so.
For real.
The energy was like, you know, raw and.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, tell me, you never recorded this song?
No.
This is 3FM.
I went back, you know, every once in a while, I was able to go back to listen to the old tapes, and you kind of laugh, you know, you hear the things that you were doing, like, really? That's how you start.
Yes,
That's
yes.
how you start, so.
Do you have any intention, maybe making it a better song and recording it one day?
Oh, all of these, yeah. That's one of the reasons I'm here, Aya. Because over there, to be honest with you, I'm struggling.
Oh, wow.
And me, I'm old school. I like computers,
Wow.
you know, whatnot. But I like the idea of musicians coming together.
Analog.
Yes, and putting ideas together, working it, you know, making it, you know, I'm vibing and
Right.
creating that stuff. So I'm here to see if I can get musicians and all of these ideas that I have. Any one of them where we can develop, we do them.
Last time I heard an album that you made, I was able to speak with a couple of people who were in the studio at the time you were recording, and they said you insist on your sound. This is the sound I want, this is the sound I want, and you are not really appreciative of other people jumping around your creative space. How true is this?
It is true to an extent, to the level that what it is like I was telling you earlier, a lot of these things are self-taught. They are all empirical. I have not had the formal musical training, like theoretically. And then practical is too, I didn't go through the same school that most musicians here go through, you know, like being an apprentice, following the band and all that. I was struck straight into being a band leader.
Right.
Just writing your stuff and folks thinking that you know what you want to do. But all the while, there was something in me that I knew, but I didn't have the language
For
to
real.
explain it to the musicians. So that's why I said, you know, I like when we come together to create it before we take it out. Because when you're doing the computer thing there, I appreciate them showing up. But sometimes what you would do doesn't necessarily fit what I'm hearing.
That's right.
You know, and with all due respect, you know, these are good musicians, but it's not everything that you do that will fit what I'm bringing in. So I was trying to beg them to understand where I'm coming from, but like I said, I didn't have the right language to communicate with them on those things. So
Did you get the right support for your music in the U.S.?
to some extent, I guess I can. I have to appreciate what I got, but I could do better. I know. I could do better.
Sometimes I listen to your music and I ask myself, why is Kwame Bediako not a superstar like Burning Spear, like even Bob Marley and the rest of them? Because your music is good and the lyrics are clear and philosophical. Do you think sometimes like that?
Yes and no, because I kind of have an idea of what's happening. You know, basically, if you get the right help, bro. I mean, they say right place at the right time. If you get that, you know, you're gone clear.
So it means you don't have the right help?
The kind of help that I've gotten, this is where it's gotten me. So that's how I have to look at it.
I get what you mean.
But I know that if I was in collaboration with, say, I had Carl Peterson in my corner. You know what I'm saying? One time, I had an opportunity to work with farms, Family Man.
Family Man Barrett, yeah.
But at that time, you know, still I was young at the same time. And I kind of turned it down because I was naive. I didn't know what he could do, the space and time that he was giving me. But imagine if I had taken that opportunity.
What happened? Why did you turn it down? What was the problem? What did he want?
He was on tour. And they were all over the place. So I was chasing down. George Kwaku was playing keyboards for them there at that time. So my link was him. And we were always communicating, and he would tell me, yeah, we're over here now, that kind of stuff. And finally, he said, well, Farms are saying that we'll be in D.C. for this period of time, and if you want, you can come in and we could do it and, you know, create something. But I was like, wait a minute. I mean, how can you take 1 week and do this thing for me? But if I had known that those guys take 3 days to create stuff, I would have taken the opportunity. But I didn't know.
This
and that's
is
what
3
cost me that.
FM.
You know, but I could have established that relationship with him whereby, you know, things could have continued.
But when you realized it later, did you try to make up?
It's hard to read them boys, you know.
Wow.
For me, at least. I mean, it's hard, you know. I mean, George helped me something. Even he linked me up to Farm's son. On our World of Soul album, his son played a few drums tracks on that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's willing to help, but it was money.
Money. Money.
This is 3 FM.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, he
This
did
is
something
3
with a brother
FM.
called Mo Ali. I think he's from Sudan, but he's based in Netherlands.
Right.
Nice music.
Yeah.
When I heard, I was like, damn. So I contacted him, and then he said, bro, I'm ready for you. But, you know, and I looked around and said, yeah, I know you're ready, but I don't have...
Yeah, Mo Ali has some very good music. Most of the time he likes to sing in Arabic and all that and all that. I mean, he has very good music. And I know how it feels when you get so close to a legend like that and you miss that opportunity. But you are in Ghana. I'm glad you said working as a delivery man gave you the opportunity to be able to do your music. You were able to play gigs. How did the people receive you when you were playing your gigs in the U.S.?
That's what kept us going. It was nice. Yeah, I mean, because like I said, there was, in the early days, it was just energy and a little something that I had. But the reception, people encouraging you. Even some boys in Jamaica, they hear you and they stop you. And like, I remember Chucky stopping me one time, like, why? You gone clear. And I'm like, I'm gone clear. I'm here. You know, but the way they were perceiving what we were doing, it kind of encouraged you. It's like, okay, there's something there. Keep going, keep trying, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what that.
I know that there was a barber man, his name has escaped me a little bit, who also... Kofi Asante.
Yes.
That's the man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He believed so much in your talent and believed so much in your craft.
Yeah.
I remember at the time, I don't know if I should say this, he told me that Blakk Rasta, you know what, can I advise you? I said yes. He said, Blakk Rasta, stop music and concentrate on your radio. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
You see what Kwame does? Kwame is exceptional. That is why I would like to push him.
That's what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said. But
really?
If I want to really push you, I'll be doubting it. And you see, I like playing people like that. I do not feel hurt about what he said. At the time, that was what he felt.
But guess what? He dropped me.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, man.
He did?
Yeah.
Tell me again.
This is 3 FM.
He dropped you?
Yeah.
With all the talent?
That was the last album that we did. I went over there. I went to the D.C. You know, he gave me a place to stay, and all the 9 yards. You know, and gave me the opportunity. I was linked with George. And we kept going at it. And in the middle of it, almost to the end of it, that I was completing, he changed his mind. You know, so.
He dropped you?
Yeah.
He didn't believe in your talent anymore?
I guess not.
Or did you do something that...
I asked, but he never said anything. So I don't know. I pleaded with him to find out. I mean, because he's like, I was a little hurt. That's my Rasta brother, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Rasta man. I mean, I remember you used to tell me that you were living somewhere in Maryland and he needed you to come closer to him for you to be able to push your music.
Yeah, he took me in. I lived with him.
Wow.
I lived with him, but this last time something happened, so... And then I fell out with George, too, so... all the Maryland connection is kind of dead.
This is 3 FM.
As for George, it looks like everybody's falling out with George. I mean, I'm Alpha Blondie. I can talk about Shasha Mali.
Shasha, yeah.
And some of the last 2 weeks, Shasha Mali was here and we talked a little bit about George.
Yeah.
What made you fall out with George? And people who do not know George Kwaku is Ghanaian Ivorian, and he played a lot of the hit songs of Alpha Blondie right from the beginning. He was one of those who discovered Alpha Blondie, Ghanaian Ivorian, George Kwaku. How did you fall out with George?
It was kind of simple. Well, to make a long story short, I went in there, we started working, and we were doing, of course, computer. He was producing the stuff. But the way we were going is we would pick up the song, get a drum to bass, blah, 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 put it all together. And then he would do his keyboards and the added stuff, and he had done a lot of horn work. He's a master with the horn lines and stuff like that. He had done a lot of horn work, and I wanted to put guitars on it. And the guitar player that we got, he was also an engineer. He lives a little bit away from DC Central. So we made arrangements. He has a studio in his house to go out there to do the guitar works. We made that arrangement, and he was not feeling or going. And the only reason that he didn't came was because I scheduled the drum session also, and he wanted his son to play drums on Princess Ghana. So his son is the one who played drums on Princess Ghana. So he came through, but he didn't stay, and they left. And I had to deal with the guitar player, directing him on what to do and whatnot. So for me not to make it easy, we pull out the horn lines, and I gave him the freedom to just play. Just because the idea was that he was going to play. We were going to later on go in and edit, take the ones we like, and balance them with the horn lines and all that stuff. But George is not used to editing, and I didn't know that. But that's what me and my brother in Chicago, Vince Valco, I think
right, Vince Valco, right.
That's how we do our stuff, and that's how we get it clean. So we went through all of the process, and then I finished everything, came down to it, we listened to it, and I told George, we are at the point where we have to do the editing because we can't have the guitars and the horns all clashing and blah, blah, blah. George said, okay, no problem, we could do it. So we went to it, we picked up one song, we started doing it, and he realized how tedious a work it was because you stay hours, and Vince has the patience to do that, but George doesn't. And so when he came down, I said, George, I can't have the song out there the way I'm not feeling it. So to make, I'm not taking the job away from you, but I would like to take it to Chicago and have my boy, me and my boy sit down and edit it. And later on, even the mixing and all, we will have you listen to it and get you approval and whatnot. And he kind of felt the way that I was taking the work
away.
And I'm like, I'm not diminishing your creativity or whatnot, but for some reason he didn't understand why I had to edit some of the horn lines. And for me, it's not everything that goes into it. There's some things I left on the what they call the cutting room floor. It's not everything that you put in there. So that's where the misunderstanding began.
Were you paying him or
Yeah.
Wow.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have a new album out, and it's a beautiful album. It is called The World Disorder.
That's the one I did with George.
So George produced this album?
Yes.
Everything on the album?
Not everything. That's one of the reasons, because we had done half of the work before I took it to DC. So what he did was, if he took a song and the keyboard bubble, we could do it better. Then I said, okay. And we tried. If it sounded good, then we put it there. And then what we didn't have was like horn lines and whatnot. But we had done major part of the work.
Oh, okay.
And
so you had other producers on this album?
Yeah, me and Vince.
And everything was played live?
But not in the studio where we were around. Like the drums, we would send it to...
but it was played
Junior.
live?
Yes, Junior would play live. The bass, there was a brother in Senegal, his name is Ras Labo. He played it live too.
Wow.
So that's how it is. There you go.
This is 3FM.
Are coming from George Kwaku.
Yes, we had pre-produced it.
Okay.
So the bubble, the horn lines, the horn lines, those are George's. And then we had Sister Ajo. She's from Ghana too.
Wow.
And George directed the background, and so Ajo did all of that.
Interesting. And the sound is very good. Which studio did you record this in?
George. Well, like I said, the pre-production was done in Chicago. Then the rest was done in George's studio, and then the mixing. This particular mixing, I think. The brother Raskelimo linked us up with.
Okay. Sydney Mills.
Sydney Mills.
Oh, he did the mix.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I can tell now why it is so heavy. Music by all standards, and this one is called Budumburam. It's my personal favorite on the album. I love it. Now this one here is called Inner Roots.
This is 3FM.
I mean, do you sometimes have people write music for you?
No. I take it back. There was not right for me. Music, yeah, not lyrics.
Not lyrics.
Music, yeah. Vince Varco has done a lot of on this album. He did a jamboree. Even in our roots, he did the music, and I put the lyrics to him.
What is the meaning? What is the difference between the music and the lyrics?
The music is the production, the sound,
instrumentation.
Yeah, instrumentation. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Ghana, are you listening?
Yeah.
All right. So he made the music, and then you put lyrics to the music.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Did
sir.
you hear that? All right. Okay. So when you listen to the music, how does it direct you with your lyrics in terms of writing?
Oh, sometimes we don't get it on the first take, sometimes. So, but we're building on what we're hearing, and you feeling it, and you like, okay, this melody is nice, and you start on that.
Which one do you prefer? Going to start from the scratch, from the drums and from the hi-hats and everything, or you like the music created and you go in there and put lyrics to that?
From the scratch,
This is
from
3FM.
that's where the spirit is.
You're a true old school man.
Yeah, because even all of these
This
ones,
is
I would
3FM.
like to have a band in Ghana where we will recreate all of them if I get a chance.
Are you based in Ghana now?
I'm trying. For the past 3 years, I've returned consecutively, so I'm trying.
Many people have
help
said.
my brother there.
Nice one. Yeah, Kalonji, right?
Yes.
Now tell me, Kwame, I mean, a lot of brethren out there have had experiences doing reggae. And one of those that actually stood out was the fact that if you are not Jamaican and you're doing reggae music out there, sometimes you have Jamaican people not really supporting you, and they have that kind of, racist behavior towards you. Have you experienced that before?
I had totally the opposite, though.
Wow.
Yeah, because like seriously, some down brethren, check with you and like, yeah, you all right. Most of my brethren from Jamaica, they're cool with me. I mean, music-wise and whatnot. I mean, and to be honest with you, the Caribbean reggae is a little different.
Yeah.
Me, I went through a transition.
Yeah.
The early production, like I said, I was hearing something, but I wasn't able to lean towards what I was hearing. But down the line, I developed, and then I knew what to take and what not to
See,
take. Yeah.
see.
But my experience has been different. I was invited to Jamaica to,
Oh, wow.
perform.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You played in Jamaica?
Yeah.
At what festival?
Not a festival. Oh, it was a compound. A compound celebration.
Oh, so you spoke
They-
a lot of tree there.
They were speaking tree to me.
Wow.
Trying to let me know what they remember.
Wow.
And so we had a little show, and then I didn't get a band, but I had them spin
Sound system.
a TV version, of one of our songs, and I sung through it.
But in America, have you played at Jamaican, programs where you were the only Ghanaian to play amongst Jamaicans? How do they receive you?
I haven't had that, like the Jamaican Independence Day or something like that. Local Brendan from Jamaica. I mean, that's but I haven't had a chance to say be in an exclusively Jamaican setting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, which one is your favorite? Playing on stage or in the studio recording and creating?
Stage,
Wow.
I love stage.
Wow.
That's where it's at. I mean, studio, it's after you've done all of this thing, then you go and put the record. I like to have the ideas, but stage is where you connect with the people. The people who are supporting you and whatnot, you give them a little bit of how you feeling towards them.
All right, so we are going to leave right now. The producer of the show has walked in to signal us that it's time for us to go, and we got to go. Okay, before we go, Kwame, now tell me this. Are you making money from your music?
Not as much as I would like to. It's a struggle, bro. It's a struggle. I mean, right now you have this streaming thing going on, and unless my part, I'm not doing too well on the social media thing.
Yeah,
I need to
right.
up my.
I mean, as an old school man, it's understood.
So you might get every 3 months, $20, in your CD Baby account. Yeah, it's not a lot.
$20, $30 in a month.
Yeah.
In a month.
A month, 2 months.
It means you're doing good. $20 in a month.
It could be more.
Some of us get $2 after 4 months.
It could be a lot
This
more.
is 3FM.
But we give thanks. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, we give thanks.
I would like to say thank you so much, Kwame, for coming.
Thank you too. Thank you too. If I may say something
Please
before I
do.
leave, I want to take this opportunity to say, in Ghana, we are complaining a lot about how reggae is not taking off. But one thing that I've noticed is like there are certain things that you do to attract people to what you are doing.
Right.
And one basic problem I see we have is sound. We lack sound engineering. And I keep complaining to my brother every time we go to Kokolobite, you go to Millie's, you're listening to the sound, it's like distorted. The bass is distorted, vocal is distorted. If you get clean sound, even on the basic level, I think we would do a lot better attracting people to what we're trying to do.
Interesting.
That's just number one.
Thank you so much. His album is
Thank you
out.
too.
It's called World Disorder. Stream it up. It's up there online. And invite him to concerts and all that. Check him out on social media. Thanks, Kwame, for coming on the show.
Thank you, my brother.
We
It's been an
appreciate
honor.
you.
Yes,
Bless
sir.
it.
I have to find a special.
Yeah.
I said I have to find a special way to come and thank you for what you have done for me. If it wasn't for you, I won't be nowhere in Ghana. So thank you, my brother.
Thank you so
Yes, sir.
much.
Give
And the
thanks.
music speaks for itself. I mean, I've been a big fan for a very long while. Thank you so much, Kwame, for giving us good music.
Give thanks.
Love,
Yes.
love.
Gentle slavery.
And thanks so much to the man Kalanje.